My name is Melanie, and the story that I'm going to tell you is about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was written by John Michael in collaboration with the actor Daniel Banman. This story began at night in London City in 1885 with Dr. Henry, who is a successful doctor around his 30. A tall man, he lived in a very nice house with his butler pool, and he believes that people have two different characters, but they are insane because it is the dark side of your personality that's not allowed to show in your daily life. So he began to experiment to prove his theory. But this particular night, he drank his experiment. I left with a blue liquid. After he drank the blue substance, he began to cough. He grabbed his hat and coat, and he left the lab. Mr. Utterson was walking with his assistant, Richard Enfield. Both men were young, in their early 30s, but Utterson was taller. Richard told Mr. Utterson about a strange man called Hyde that knocked a child and offered to check the girl's lyrics with a large check drawn from Dr. Jekyll's bank account. Mr. Utterson is Dr. Jekyll's lawyer, and he remembered that Dr. Jekyll decided to change his will in case of his death or disappearance. And his story state is to be returned over to Mr. Hyde. Mr. Utterson was extremely suspicious of this whole arrangement, so nearly a year later, Mr. Utterson was walking to where Dr. Jekyll lived and saw a stranger man leaving through a door at the back. This man was wearing an old hat and coat. Mr. Poole told Mr. Utterson that Dr. Jekyll was out for the evening, so he had to come back to home. The next morning, Utterson read in the newspaper about the Dunbar Carrer murder, and he recognized a picture of Hyde in the paper, like the murder, because he was the same strange man that left Dr. Jekyll's back door the last time. Dr. Jekyll knocked at Dr. Lyon's door because Dr. Lyon is his teacher, and when he went in, he begged Dr. Lyon to go to his laboratory for a blue liquid. Dr. Lyon was confused, but he went. When Dr. Lyon turned around, he saw to Hyde in his house, and he forced Dr. Lyon to sit into a chair. Hyde drank some of the blue liquid, and a horrible change came over him. He began to scream with pain, and Dr. Jekyll appeared in the same body. Dr. Lyon died from shock and silence. Dr. Jekyll was writing in his laboratory. He was afraid. He wrote, "I was wrong. I now know how evil one person can be. He's coming. I can feel it." He wrote some letters to Utterson too. Suddenly, Poole, Utterson, and the politician entered the laboratory, but only found Hyde on the floor, an envelope in the desk with a name to Utterson, but they didn't find Dr. Jekyll. Later, Utterson opened the envelope. There was a small envelope, Dr. Jekyll's diary, and his will. Jekyll left all his money to Utterson and wrote in the other envelope the truth about Hyde. He knocked to a girl, killed Karen, and caused Dr. Lyon's death. Utterson stopped reading and asked himself how a young, happy, and successful man can be the same person that Hyde, a horrible and strange man. Jekyll wanted to know what it was like to be another person. He found out, and it killed himself because he could live with his burden. Perhaps all of us have a Mr. Hyde inside of us.